You mean to tell me if Quinn Ewers says, I'm coming back, and Malik Murphy says, I'm coming back, he won't look at some of these other schools, these big-time programs that don't have a quarterback, and he could easily start there? He's not even going to look their direction? And I don't want to get into this too much in this video, but word around the block is there's a lot of people saying LSU. It's happening. It's happening. Everybody stay calm. Everybody stay calm. Hold on. Hold your horses, partner. I know what you're sitting there saying. Matt, what the crap are you talking about? What's happening? My friend, that is a great question. I have an even better answer. Drama in college football in November. This is the one time during college football season, anything and everything is on the table. Players that weren't playing a lot this year, they're going to start entering the portal. You got coaches being fired left and right. And also, you got the huge saga going on with the college football playoff. Who's going to get in? But in tonight's video, we got an extremely big topic to talk about. It's trending all over Twitter and Instagram right now, and that is no other than the man, the myth, the legend himself, Arch Manning. You know why it's a popular topic. I'm not going to sit down and break it down to you. His last name's Manning. But the reason he's trending currently is because some big news came out about Quinn Ewers that is going to affect him a lot. And even saying it's going to affect him a lot might be an understatement. How much will it affect him? We don't know. That's what everyone's talking about, but there is some notion that Arch Manning might potentially leave Texas and go elsewhere. We're going to talk all about that in tonight's video, but hold on. We don't just have one other topic to go over. We have two more to go over, including Coach Prime in Colorado. They have officially found the thieves that stole their players' jewelry in their locker room. For those of you that don't know what I'm talking about, when Colorado played UCLA a couple weeks ago, somebody stole all their players' jewelry. Well, fast forward time to our current date, we found the thieves, and it might just shock you who it was, but also Dion responded to it, and I'm going to show you what he had to say. And last but not least, our other big topic we got to talk about is Dan Lanning originally came out today and said, oh yeah, I'm not even going to think about going to Texas A&M. I'm staying put at Oregon. But somebody has found this is really interesting, a flight that is leaving Eugene, Oregon and going to College Station. You can do what you want with this information. I had a couple people sending it to me, and I definitely thought it was worth talking about and throwing in a video. It's been a minute since I said this. We got a jam-packed video for your Tuesday night. Get you some popcorn, get you a snack, get you a favorite meal you like to eat when you watch a video. But all right, Matt, blah, blah, shut the crap up. Now, without further ado, let's get into it. Whew. Okay, first things first. You know what? Let's start out with this Dan Lanning situation because I'm just going to talk about it for about 30-45 seconds. We all know Texas A&M, they fired Jimbo Fisher, so now they're going after all these big-time targets and names. One of those including Dan Lanning. And he came out and stated, I'm not taking the job, in which I do believe him, but somebody found this out today. As to how people find this out, I have no idea. I'm sure it's public information, but my thing is, how do you have enough time in your day to be even looking at this? Anyways, though, somebody found a flight that indicated there's a departure from Eugene, Oregon, scheduled to arrive in College Station, Texas, early Sunday morning on 11/19. Is this Dan Lanning going to an interview with Texas A&M? Unclear at this time, but definitely something to keep an eye on. And I will show you the map right here. This is the flight tracker, and yeah, do what you want with this information. I'm not sitting up here trying to tell you this is Dan Lanning going to interview for the job, but it's just something that's been out there on social media. Me personally, do I believe this? No. I think if Dan Lanning were to do this, he'd be a little bit smarter than take a direct flight from Eugene, Oregon, because he knew people would post something like this. But at the same time, let me debunk this theory. You're having some people say, whoa, if it isn't Dan Lanning, why would some random person go from Eugene, Oregon to College Station, Texas? And my answer to that is relatively simple. I do think it's a coincidence, and people fly from all types of weird places. It could be something simple as there's somebody who lives in Eugene, Oregon, and he has family he wants to see for Thanksgiving that lives in College Station, Texas. I mean, come on now, it's not far-fetched for some random person to take that flight, at least to me. Maybe it is to you. Like I said, I don't think it's Dan Lanning. Let me know your thoughts on that down below. But moving on to our second topic, I'm not going to talk about this too much either. I could have made a separate video, but I don't think it's that important. I thought to myself, hey, well, now, we'll throw it in this one. I don't think you guys will mind too much. Like I was saying in the intro, we all know how the Colorado players, they got these NIL deals, and they got their flashy $10,000 watches, $40,000 chains, and all that stuff, blah, 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 blah. And for some odd reason, we already talked about this in a different video. If you want more details, go check out. I made a video on this situation. Go check it out. As to why they were wearing this to away games, that's just lack of common sense. I thought everybody knew not to wear jewelry and bring valuables on the road. But whatever, different conversation for a different day. The point is, they've officially caught the thieves and they found out who did it. And guess who did it? No other than recruits for UCLA that was in attendance for the game. Baffling to me, baffling that recruits would do this, because you know if you get caught, you're risking your scholarship. Crazy I'd even think about doing this, but here's what Coach Prime had to say about it. Let's not crucify and punish these high school kids. Whatever the punishment that comes along with it, let that be that. Let's not ruin the opportunities for the rest of their lives because of that mistake. Let's make sure that those kids atone. I don't even know what that means. I've never seen that word in my life for what transpired, but they don't lose an opportunity to change their lives. They're kids. They made a stupid, dumb, idiotic mistake. Let's pray for those kids, man, and lift them up. Clap it up for old Coach Prime Time. Couldn't agree with them anymore. They do need to be punished, don't get me wrong, but I don't want to see their lives ruined over that dumb decision. It's a mistake, a bad one at that, and I'm more so of like the route of, okay, they did this. Instead of punishing them and taking away football, probably, between me and you, the one thing that's keeping them off the streets and whatnot, let's make them do community service. Do something good for their community. Let's make them work like 40 hours in the soup kitchen or something like that, something productive. Because if you take away their scholarships, they're just going to be on the streets doing even worse things, at least in my humble opinion. Nick Saban even has the same philosophy, because he used to catch so much slack for his players. They'd get in trouble and he wouldn't kick them off the team, and everybody used to question him about it. And he had that famous interview. It was, what was it? It had to be like 10 years ago, where he explained why he didn't kick players off the team as much. Saban said, if I kick him on the team, he'll be back out on the streets. Is that what y'all want? Whereas, if you give him another chance to prove himself, to work harder, he'll become and evolve into a better man. Granted, I will throw this in there, that doesn't happen all the time. There's cases and scenarios where some people, you can't help them out, and no matter how many chances you give them, they don't do anything with it. I could talk about that all day, but getting back on track here with the focal point, I say we make these kids do community service, make them pick up trash on the side of the road, do something to benefit the community and benefit the world. That's my 2 cents on that, and I'm extremely curious. Let me know in the comment section how you feel about that, but we gotta get a move on to the main topic of the main encore. The main reason you clicked onto this video, what's going on with good old Arch Manning? I'm not giving you the entire backstory on him. You should know who he is, but I'll give you the brief run through, very brief. Top recruit coming out of high school. At one point in time was the #1 overall recruit, 5-star recruit. He wound up falling a little. I think he fell to like the 3rd or 4th overall recruit, but you get the point. Everybody and their mama wanted him. Very prestigious quarterback coming out of high school, and he winds up selecting Texas. And right off the bat, everybody knew this. All right, he ain't even going to play year 1. The goal is for him to play year 2 because Quinn Ewers is coming back. But here's where things really start to get interesting. When I saw this news today, I was like, wait a minute, this changes everything. So apparently Quinn Ewers here, he's coming back for another season next year. I was shocked about that when I first heard it because I thought he was going to the league. But when I really thought about it, I was like, you know what? I can rationalize this, and it does make sense because, number one, this quarterback class heading into the NFL draft is loaded with talent. And number two, Quinn Ewers was battling injuries yet again this year. He is yet to have a full, healthy season of college football. And if he comes back next year, number one, he can improve his health. Number two, he can improve his draft stock. And most importantly, he can improve his game even more. Don't get it twisted. I love Quinn Ewers. If you've heard me talk about him, you know I can go on and on. Been keeping up with this dude ever since he was playing high school football, and he is a heck of a talent in my eyes. And I do believe at this point in time, it would be more beneficial for Quinn Ewers to come back because next year he will easily be QB1 heading into the NFL draft. That is, unless I'm missing somebody. I could be missing somebody, but no, I think he'll be QB1. But the point is, even if he's not QB1, he'll be QB2. He'll be a top 10 pick if he plays really good. Whereas this year, you got Caleb Williams, you got Drake May, you got Bo Nix, you got Michael Penix Jr. You got so many guys that are coming out. I saw a mock draft the other day where there's 6 quarterbacks projected to go in the first round, and none of them were Quinn Ewers. But we're getting a little too far ahead of ourselves here. Getting that out the way, let's get into what we really need to get into. Everybody's immediate reaction to this is, okay, well, what about Arch Manning? Because it seems like the speculation was, and the perfect idea was, okay, Quinn Ewers is going to come back this current year that he's in. He's going to have a good season, go to the NFL. Then Arch Manning, he's going to take over the job. Which, by the way, I always thought that was laughable because your casual fans don't understand that Malik Murphy is QB2 and he is really good. He didn't look outstanding in the couple of games he's played this year, but he is QB2 for a reason. So it's not like Arch Manning was going to be gifted the job next year anyways if Quinn Ewers decided to go to the NFL draft. He's got to beat out Malik Murphy. But you get my point. The whole perception was once Quinn Ewers is gone, this is going to be Arch's team. Well, now this changed everything because if Quinn Ewers comes back next year again, that means for the second straight year, Arch Manning is going to be QB3. And that's the thing also, if Malik Murphy don't transfer out, he'll be coming back. And let me throw this in there and clarify on this. I'm not saying for certain Arch Manning is leaving. No. I'm just presenting you this information. Let me read you out this comment right here because it leads me into my next topic perfectly. I love how people think this affects Arch. His grandpa literally was just asked about this. Redshirt first year, backup second year, start 2 or 3 years. That is why Eli did it. This family knows football. And I agree 10,000%, but here's where that plan could be somewhat flawed. If Quinn Ewers does come back next year, yet again, Arch Manning won't even be the backup because Malik Murphy will be the backup. Let's say in 2024, Quinn Ewers enters the draft. That means Malik Murphy, if he is still QB2 and he beats out Arch Manning, he'll be QB1. You see what I'm saying? And this is all true. Arch Manning's family has made it astronomically clear they're still happy with his decision to go to Texas. But for anybody to actually sit up here and try to convince you that, oh, this isn't a big deal for Arch Manning and his family, you've lost your mind. If Quinn Ewers comes back, that essentially means that Arch Manning, yet again, for 2 years in a row, won't even sniff the field. And there's also a lot of people that don't understand how hard it is to take in the fact that you were the man all throughout your life. You never sat behind anybody, and for 2 straight years, you're not even going to play. I want you to think about what that does to you psychologically and mentally. And Nick Saban's even talked about that. That is the hardest part for these 4- and 5-star recruits when getting adjusted to college football. Them not playing as a freshman, it eats them alive. It does. You got to think about it. Every single player, every single recruit that went to Texas, even though 4-stringers were the man at their local high school. They were the man. And then they come into Texas like Arch Manning, and they're not even a 2nd-stringer. So, with that being said, yes, I have an extremely hard time believing Arch Manning, at bare minimum, won't weigh out his options somewhere else. I'm not saying he's going to leave Texas for sure, but to sit up here and act like and try to tell all these people, oh yeah, he's going to stay there and not consider, just at bare minimum consider going somewhere else, you've lost your mind. You mean to tell me if Quinn Ewers says, I'm coming back, and Malik Murphy says, I'm coming back, he won't look at some of these other schools, these big-time programs that don't have a quarterback, and he could easily start there? He's not even going to look their direction? Come on, man. The only thing to say is you lost your mind. He will weigh his options out. Trust me. And oh yeah, guess what? LSU, they're losing their starting quarterback in this offseason, Jaden Daniels. I do like their backup, Garrett Nussmeier, but another team, USC, they're losing Caleb Williams. The possibilities are endless, but at the end of the day, it comes down to this one thing and one thing only. How is Arch Manning feeling about this? Is he okay with sitting out another year, or does he want to play? Me personally, and this is just me right now, I would say his best bet is to stay at Texas, develop, learn from Ewers, learn from even Malik Murphy, because y'all saw him in that Texas spring game. He looked like a deer in headlights. I think if he just learns and continues to redshirt, because this is also good, because if he is 3rd-string quarterback, he'll be able to redshirt and retain his eligibility as long as he doesn't play in 4 games. He'll be okay in the long run. But yet again, I'm going to divert back to this before we end out this video. I do believe he'll at least entertain some other schools out there if Ewers does come back. And I don't want to get into this too much in this video, but word around the block is there's a lot of people saying LSU. And considering how high-powered their offense is, they have the #1 offense in the nation this year, I don't think that'd be a bad fit whatsoever. Who knows what's going to happen? I'm curious. And let me know your thoughts down below about that.